Hello, writers. Mrs. Damazi here, and really excited about our next persuasive writing lesson. Remember that if you like these videos, to subscribe and hit the thumbs up so you know every time I upload a new video. If you would like to follow me on Teachers Pay Teachers, my name is the same as the name on YouTube. It is Top Notch Teaching Lessons. Let's get started. Yesterday, you were looking for things that you want to change in your neighborhood or things that you might want to change in your home. So you were looking for problems and thinking of solutions. Today, when I sat down to try to think of a problem or a solution, I was feeling really negative and I was just feeling really yucky about the world. And so I thought I really need to change how I'm thinking about things. So I decided that I should start thinking about beautiful and wonderful things in our world. And as I was thinking about that, it reminded me of a time when I was actually teaching kindergarten. And when I was teaching kindergarten, the third graders would hatch these little baby chicks. And they had these little eggs, and they would incubate them. And then the little chicks would come out, and then the third graders would carry them over to the barn, and they would take care of them as fourth graders. And it was great and wonderful, and I love animals, and I thought it was so fun. But what I didn't like was that for 1 week in the spring, the kindergartners would have the little incubated eggs near their classrooms. And let me tell you, as a teacher, that was the worst idea ever, because they would go and they would look at the eggs and they would wait for them to hatch, and they couldn't focus on any of their work. They couldn't do anything in the classroom because they were so worried about these baby chicks. And a lot of those baby chicks hatched when they were with us in our classroom area. So I was really bummed out every time that this happened every year. However, 1 year I had a student, his name was Luca, and he told me, come and look at this. And so I walked over there and I started watching, and it was a little baby chick coming out of the egg. And so it cracked just a little bit, and then the little baby chick's beak and head started poking out, and then he came out of the egg. And it took a little bit of time. And once he got out, his little eyes were still closed, and his other brothers and sisters came over and kind of welcomed him into the world. And I realized how beautiful and wonderful that was. And it was something I was taking for granted. I didn't think that was very noteworthy. I just thought, okay, the baby chicks are going to hatch. But how beautiful it was, and how much I appreciated that. And when I was thinking about that today, I was thinking about all the things that are beautiful and wonderful in our world that we take for granted. And maybe we could write a speech about how somebody needs to appreciate something more in their life. So before we get started brainstorming about that, I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to remind you that during our writing process, we are still in the brainstorming phase. So this is our third day brainstorming. And we've been brainstorming by developing an idea. What is an idea that you would want to have in a persuasive speech? So yesterday, we looked for a problem and imagined some solutions. But today, you're going to see people, places, or things that are noteworthy or beautiful or wonderful or important. And you are going to try to convince other people that we should appreciate them more. So I've made a list. This is a list of things that I think are noteworthy, some noteworthy people, some noteworthy places, some noteworthy things, and some things that when I've been teaching third grade, my friends have come up with. So a custodian at school is super important. Our custodian at school, his name is Mr. Harrell, and we love him dearly. Our security guards at school are super important. They are always there no matter what. They keep us very safe, and they always help us when we're in need. The dining commons, so that's what our cafeteria is called, very important place, and our chefs and servers who help us every day there are very noteworthy people. I was really thinking about the hospital today too, especially during this pandemic time, and so the hospital is really important, and nurses and doctors and medicine. I mean, these are things that we take for granted, and we're just so thankful that we do have them, and think about what life would be like without them. Our mailman or mailwoman is so important. She or he brings our mail every single day, no matter what. Grocery store workers, especially right now, helping us make sure that we have food and we have good fresh food to eat, and they go every day to work to help us no matter what. Nature, that was kind of what I was thinking about with those little baby chicks hatching. Air conditioning, oh my goodness, what would life be like without air conditioning? And our homes, our shelters, are places where we feel safe, and when it's raining, we don't get wet. Toilet paper. That may seem like a really funny one, but I was really thinking about toilet paper because did you know that before we had toilet paper rolls, people used magazines or newspapers? That sounds horrible. I'm so thankful we have toilet paper and books. Isn't it wonderful that we can read books and then we can learn about the history and we can learn about people and places, and we can also read fantasy and imagine and create different worlds in our minds. Those things, those books are really important. I am sure you can come up with so many other noteworthy people, places, or things. However, this is the list that I came up with. So if one of those is feeling really important to you, just hold that close to your heart for now. I'm going to show you what I found to be really close to my heart today as I share with you what I wrote. So remember, you're writing a big, bold opinion, and then you're coming up with 3 reasons why somebody else should believe in that opinion as well. So you're convincing somebody of why that opinion works and why that opinion should be taken by another person. So I wrote about Mr. Harrell. Mr. Harrell is our custodian at school, and he is really important to me. He is actually one of my really good friends at school, and I do think that sometimes people don't appreciate him as much as they should. So this is my opinion with my 3 reasons. Everyone should appreciate Mr. Harrell, our school custodian. Mr. Harrell should be appreciated because he gets to school so early each morning to make sure the campus is ready for us. He blows all the leaves, turns on all the lights, and makes sure everything is safe. Mr. Harrell should be appreciated because he never stops working. You can always find him delivering snacks, cleaning something up, or helping in the dining commons. Mr. Harrell should be appreciated because he always has a smile on his face. He always asks how you are, gives friendly advice, or offers a high five. I want you to notice how my big bold sentence talks about who you should appreciate. Then watch. The beginning of all 3 of my reasons starts the same. Mr. Harrell should be appreciated because. Mr. Harrell should be appreciated because. Mr. Harrell should be appreciated because. So if you chose to talk about the mailman, you would say, everybody should appreciate the mailman. Everyone should appreciate the mailman because. Everyone should appreciate the mailman because. Everyone should appreciate the mailman because. You need 3 reasons that are going to convince somebody of why they need to appreciate the mailman. And they need to be 3 different reasons. So pick something that you hold dear to your heart, but that also is going to help you be successful in coming up with 3 different reasons to convince somebody. Okay, friends, here is your checklist today. Great persuasive writers know that they always look for beauty in the world around them. Very opposite of what you did yesterday, but also a really good way to come up with a persuasive speech. So you're looking for people, places, or things that should be appreciated. So look for beauty around you today. You can use beauty from the list that I wrote, or you can think of something different. Write a big and bold opinion statement. Then brainstorm 3 reasons that would convince somebody to believe your idea. All you need today is your writer's notebook. I know that you are going to come up with so many beautiful things in our world, but pick one that you can really convince somebody that they should believe with you also. Have fun writing, and I will see you next time. Bye.